quick video for you guys to explain something which I refer to as time distortion and ICT talks about. Right? Remember our euro pound trade. Now, I want to point out something in terms of time. Right? We know that the London session is 2 a.m., which is back here, to 5 a.m. And then we have a gap between London and New York. This price action in here is not relevant to us. Okay? This isn't relevant to us because we look for PD arrays created in kill zones to hold. We don't look for PD arrays which were created outside of kill zones to hold. Okay? So this here is our focus, right? Notice how this candle holds. We come into it and then trade away. Okay? And you may be thinking, what this older block held when we came into it during New York. Actually, this is what held when we came into it during New York, right? The propulsion block, because why is it a propulsion block? We have an order block, price leaves the order block, price trades into the order block, leaving another up close candle and trades away from it. This becomes our propulsion block, right? So we trade into that during New York. Notice how New York respects this one. It has nothing to do with this. This inside here between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. is time distortion on Forex. We don't look for PD arrays inside here to hold. You would have got lucky because this order block did hold. It's not an order block, but this order block would have held, right? This would have held. You would have got lucky this time. But on another day, that doesn't hold. That chased straight through it and it respects a PD array created in London. In a kill zone, not outside of a kill zone, right? So this propulsion block held and then we trade again. Now, notice this. Remember this up close candle, which you may think is an order block if you didn't factor in this thing about time distortion. Drag this out in time, right? Again, order blocks at the start of the candle. We drag it out in time. Trade away from it after trading into it. We traded into the propulsion block, remember. So we trade into this candle and move away from it during New York session, right? And then we look for our PD arrays created in a session to hold, yeah? You may be waiting for this order block to hold, or what you think is an order block. But remember, this is our time distortion window. This isn't an order block. We trade away. Notice how price doesn't come into it. It trades away. Price taps it to the pip. However, we're on euro pound. Okay, remember we're on euro pound. You wouldn't be put in this trade. You wouldn't get a tap there, right? Unless you have some crazy broker, which I guarantee we don't have, that would get you in euro pound to the exact pip. That's not happening. So you'd miss that one as well. Price moves away again. Notice which it's actually respecting inside here. You see this? These two up close candles before trading below this low. We trade below the swing low. It's actually this swing low. But we trade below the swing low. And this gets respected. Right? Do you see that? It's not this being respected. Take your attention away from this. Our attention goes to the kill zone. The PDA created in the kill zone is where our attention lies. We expect those levels to hold. Not the ones during time windows where we don't have a kill zone. So this isn't our order block. This is our order block, okay? Notice how we respect it. Body's closing outside. Run into it again. Rejection block. Trades into it and closes outside the order block. Open up, trade lower, and then we run lower. Respect the propulsion block inside here. Again, because it's created inside a kill zone. So I hope you all understand that. It's a very simple concept, in its pure framework. But until you see it happen inside your own charts and go into the charts and study it, study these time distortion windows where we don't have a kill zone in between a kill zone. So let's say 6 p.m. New York to midnight. That is a time distortion window. The PD arrays inside that time period, we don't want to see respect. We don't look for those levels to be respected. We look for the levels that were created inside a kill zone like this. This order block is valid. Why is it valid? Because our London kill zone is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. This was created when? 4:30 a.m. It holds. Of course it holds. Right? This one doesn't hold. It does here, you got lucky, but then you are not getting tagged into that. You would have missed that trade simply because this is the order block, not this one. Sorry, not this one, right? We trade into this one and respect it. This rejection block here gets respected to the pip, right? And then we see it respect the order block. There's your sell right there. As soon as we respect that order block, as soon as that body closes below the open of this order block, that's my sell, right? So we have these time distortion windows where we don't want to see PD arrays formed, or we can see PD arrays formed, but they're not valid ones. They're not ones we use. There are multiple periods like this across the day, across the trading day. I just want to point you towards the PD arrays that work. This is why some of the PD arrays that you think are PD arrays and should hold for lower prices don't actually hold. Because they're created in these time windows. Here is another example of what I'm talking about when I refer to time distortion, right? So I've marked up the window in between London and New York again. All of this price action in here is irrelevant to us. These down close candles here are not order blocks. They are irrelevant to us. It may look like these are holding, but remember, we cut through candles. As ICT says, we're not supply and demand. We run above and we come into this order block here. Why this order block? Well, as you know, it was created inside the London session kill zone, and that one holds. Notice the precision of this order block, right? Compared to this choppy price action in here. Notice how this is so choppy, and we have a candle here, another candle in the same sort of range, whereas this is one order block, price moves up, returns to it, and runs away. Look at the speed it runs away with during the New York session. Now frame this with a bias as well. So we partner this with a bias. We're bullish because our draw and liquidity is higher. We see this order block created. Okay, I want this to be ran. Notice how the low here, you may not be able to see it because of this line, but if I move it to the side temporarily, notice this low on this candle gets tagged. You may be thinking, okay, I want this low to hold because we came into this, what you think is an order block, right? Does that make sense? So we've tapped the order block going into New York. Let me zoom in here. Going into New York session, right? You may see, okay, we've tapped this order block. Now I don't want to see this low broken. However, that isn't the case. Once you understand time distortion, you know that this low was just created outside of the New York kill zone, right? Notice how it opens up. We get a Judas swing below this low that was created during the time distortion. We trade into the order block and take the low to the high into a discount, right? Do you see how it's tying in together? We take the low from the kill zone previously. A low created in a kill zone gives us our dealing range. A high created in a kill zone gives us our dealing range. So the London kill zone low, it's not the low in the whole kill zone, one of the lows, a swing low in the kill zone, which starts the move up, and then a swing high in the New York kill zone. That's our dealing range. Low to high, 50% level, tags it, sweeping the liquidity into this order block, right? We take out the stops. Notice how this low, which you may think tapped into this so-called order block here, doesn't reach into 50%. This reaches into 50% before running, right? So that's our discount. We've traded into a discount inside this candle. The bodies respect it. As soon as that happens, that's my buy, and we run it up. I will put my stop loss below the order block as soon as that body closes there, and we respect price. Remember, time distortion. These lows inside here and this order block, they're created for manipulation. That's the only purpose of them, right? People have their stop loss under here. The stop losses get ran inside the actual kill zone because this is accumulation. This is used to build up positions. This is for institutions to actually put people into the market and take them out of the market. This is so they make the most money. It makes sense, right? the order block inside the London kill zone is used, and we take out the liquidity which is created in that time distortion window. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, and if you have any questions, please do drop them in the comments. I will be responding to as many as possible. If you did like the video, please do drop a like and subscribe. More content is coming this winter, and yeah, turn on post notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching as always.